Hi, I'm here to talk about the sequel to the Joker movie, Joker Folie À Deux. I think that it is perhaps the best apology video of all time. And you might be wondering, this is a movie, not an apology video. But think again. The first Joker film became synonymous almost with the incel community, joining films like American Psycho or Fight Club. This was not the intention of Todd Phillips, the director of the Joker movie. At least that's what I believe. It became so synonymous with incel culture that I was literally nervous to ever tell someone that I was a fan of the movie, because in no way did I want someone to think that that was my belief. Unfortunately, it was hijacked by that fandom. Joker Folie À Deux is an apology and a big F you to the fans. That is what it is. And we see many fans not liking this movie, which is understandable. It wasn't targeted towards them. In fact, it was meant to piss off most fans. First of all, we have the fact that it's a musical. The Joker movie is literally a musical. Many people are not going to like musicals, and from a guess that I'm going to say that I think is correct, incels predominantly are not going to like the musical genre. Todd Phillips, the director, took this movie that became an incel classic and put into the genre that they are going to hate. And then not only that, but he then decided to cast Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Lady Gaga is a huge feminist icon and a huge gay icon. She is, in fact, like everything that the incel fans are against. And then not only now does she exist in this film, but the Joker now actually has a girlfriend, meaning that he is definitely not an incel. So just from those few facts of putting the film as a musical and putting Lady Gaga into it is already a huge FU. But that's not where the apology comes in. That's the pissing off part. And we also have the fact, spoilers ahead for the movie, first of all. The film starts off with a fellow inmate at Arkham asking Joker if he would kiss him because the guards told him that Joker's a good kisser, and he says he hasn't been kissed before. Arthur right away gives the man a kiss, and Arthur, though, did try to show kindness to this man. This already starts the film off as showing Joker as a pro-queer person, not a right-wing incel. Then we also have the fact later in the movie, his fake girlfriend that many fans thought he killed in the first movie is alive in this film, and she even testifies here. Many people thought that he killed her, but the director was like, that's not the case, and really wanted to make it clear that he did not kill an innocent woman. The film is trying to frame Joker not in a misogynistic or a homophobic light at all. That's not what the film is supposed to be about. And then we also have the musical numbers are very romanticized, and some people do not like them and find them very off-putting. But the reason for them is it is seen as Joker's like imagination coming through, and the Folie À Deux, like a shared madness between him and Harley Quinn. And it is these romantic moments that are like supposed to show his inner self as well. These musical numbers, while for me, I found very entertaining. I was literally dancing in my seat and wanting to sing along at the theater. A lot of fans are very off-put by these numbers. But what this film serves as is a critique of the Hollywood ideal of making humans into symbols. That is what this movie is. And that is where the apology lies. The Joker, both in real life and in the film world, became a symbol of something that he never meant to be. In the movie, they even mention that there is a film adaptation. In the film adaptation, it has caused many harm to many of the people who were in it. And, that wasn't his intention, to cause harm to, say, the girl who he was in love with in the first film. That wasn't his intention, but yet she got horrible threats. And that is very similar to what happens in real life, especially to women of color. Many incels give so much hate comments to women, and women in color specifically, and queer women. And so this film is really touching on that. And that was not the intention of the first film, but that might have been the result, regardless. Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn pretends to be a poor woman, but is actually a rich woman who is educated in psychology. And she just wants Joker because she likes the symbol of Joker, but she doesn't actually want Arthur Fleck. She just wants this symbol, the symbol of chaos. That is all he is to her. Arthur Fleck is in the courtroom, and his trial is going very well, and then eventually he gets convinced in some ways, and he eventually is like, I'm gonna do it all myself, and then he does a whole little act with the mask, makeup. He sings the whole song, "The Joker is me," which is a really good number in my opinion, just very enjoyable. especially as a person who wrote a Joker and Harley Quinn jukebox musical when I was 12. Yes, I did. So this movie is very much wish fulfilling for me. That transformation happens where he turns into the Joker through that song. We see an imaginative violence, but he doesn't actually commit acts of violence, which is not what fans would have wanted. And then eventually he says he was going to go in a whole spiel blaming society, but then he just admits to his crimes and he's like, I'm not really the Joker, and like this is just an act, it's not who I am. And he apologizes, and he's like, and one can maybe even interpret this as Todd Phillips speaking, as apologizing, being like, I did these bad things and I wish I didn't, but I did, but this isn't who I am. And you could see that as Todd Phillips kind of coming through and being like, the Joker film wasn't meant to cause the harm that it did, but it did cause that harm. And Todd Phillips in real life said he's done making these movies, just like the Joker is done being the Joker. And in fact, Arthur Fleck is killed at the end of the movie and can no longer be Joker, but we do see someone else, who, the guy who murders him, potentially become the new Joker. As soon as Arthur says he doesn't want to be the Joker anymore, Harley Quinn decides she doesn't want anything to do with him and is like, that's entertainment. The Joker was just an entertaining thing for people. He wasn't like an actual person to these people. They lift him up as this figure, maybe as someone who was oppressed by society, and they put him out as this political figure, or this figure of chaos, but that's not what he was. He is just a man, and they turn him to the celebrity figure and this character that he isn't. And this is very symbolic of like what we do in real life, both with celebrities, but also like with killers in real life, especially like with the true crime genre, such as like I'm thinking of like the Menendez brothers right now, especially with the new show by Ryan Murphy. We love to turn celebrities and criminals into symbols, and we do not see them as the real people that they are. And it's kind of like once someone's not entertaining, we'll throw their story away because society doesn't actually care about them or about what happened. When the courtroom gets blown up, Joker hears them talking about how they blew it up and how they're going to blow the whole city up, and so he leaves the car because he doesn't want anything to do that. That isn't actually what he is, but he started this movement that he didn't even mean to cause. And a lot of the people who are part of his movement just want chaos for the sake of chaos and are not actually wanting to help him or anything like that. You could also see this as symbolic of Lady Gaga's career as someone who started out doing very performative and weird characterized versions of herself that are not realistic. And that's not who she truly is. She put it on act, and in many ways, when she sings "The Joker is me" on her album, it's almost like Lady Gaga admitting like this facade of herself that she has put on, and that is what people expect her to be, is to be this clown and this jester and this weird person, even though that might not be the full story of who she really is. But yet that is what we as an audience expected from her. And that's why Harley Quinn does not get the ending we wanted. That is also an FU to Gaga fans who might have been like, this film should be about Lady Gaga getting all the fame and glory at the end and taking down Joker. It's not what it's about. This is an FU to the incel fans, but also to Gaga fans who expect Lady Gaga to just be this one thing, to be this clown figure. This film really is like, makes you think a lot about society and the way that we turn people into symbols, and how in real life the Joker became a symbol for something that Todd Phillips never intended, just like in the movie the Joker became a symbol for something he didn't intend. It is extreme meta commentary, and that's why I think this movie is absolute, like, a genius film. It's very well done. The musical numbers really add to it. They're also very fun and enjoyable. It's very well filmed. It's very well acted. And its critique of society is one that I haven't seen done before, especially it's almost as though Todd Phillips is trying to destroy the entire fandom that he set up with his first film, and in many ways is taking back what he did with the first film. And he's saying, like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing this. And he's reclaiming the Joker for what he wants it to be. And he doesn't want to have done the harm that the first film might have done. Yeah, of course fans aren't going to like that. It's making fun of them. It's dissing them. Even in the film world, it's not claiming the fans as their own. That is what makes Joker Folie À Deux so great. And you could say Joker Folie À Deux works on many levels, like about the shared madness of Joker and Harley. Deux also meaning two in French, and it's the second film, but also the shared madness between the film and the fans, between the character of the Joker and the fans who kind of share this fantasy of the Joker as the symbol that he isn't. He's not an incel symbol. He's not for the incels. This film makes that very clear and tries hard to show him as not being a misogynist, as being queer positive. And he apologizes, and in the end he dies. He dies Arthur Fleck. And there is a new Joker, perhaps. So maybe watch the movie again and think about it this way. And if you haven't seen it, I mean, I did give some spoilers, but I highly recommend seeing it. It is a really good commentary on society. It's very meta, and it's like pretty crazy that a director would basically destroy itself. Like, he probably knew fans wouldn't like this, and so it wasn't a successful movie, but he knew he wanted it to not be successful. He didn't want you to like it. He didn't want the original fans to like it. He wanted to piss them off. That is what he intended to do, and he did. He succeeded. It not being a success is, I believe, what he intended it to be. He intended it to not be a successful movie. This first film made tons of money and won tons of awards, but at the cost of especially like of women and queer people. And he's done with that. He's done with the Joker, and the Joker's done with the Joker. And the Joker's Lady Gaga, she sings on her song. Just watch the movie, please, and stop hating on it. It's a good film, and if you're hating on it, he made it for you to hate on it, so you're just doing what the director wanted. So